Okay, abusa breaking news be about any project at the Addo year screen no and change the Amamano CJ Torkornoo has received her dismissal letter and going home in peace. Addo Mohammed Aziz no and let's say abrekisa news we at the amai na ye bisa say suspended Chief Justice Torkornoo ya pamonana na enyo no kwa na abrekisa news we with all due respect loud silence media omonso at the abeto the Torkornoo story has ended and ye bisa say suspended Chief Justice Torkornoo ya pamono ana NDC journalist Kevin Taylor ono and so ND ababeto and political hazard almost the abeto say it is finished for her. The law is the law. Abusia when the breaking news are why ya breaky e de amamono eno any a project e de Addo screen and yense momre no eye Ivan Chidi and Simbia Babeto Jamomi anko na yenkonko tisa and seminenso madam say
point to exact infringement because process now is not a novelty. It has been applied. Matese Binum said this is the first time Chief Justice, but you see, in the Constitution, such categorization is not there. It's not about the Chief Justice, but the occupant of all offices at that particular level.
Yeah. And
EC boss and other people, we place them at the same pedestal. So in the previous time, those people have gone through the same process. So whether the current constitutional arrangement is fair or not fair, that is the rules of engagement. A lot of people have gone through. You may have issues with the process, but zooming in the woman, process now you're subjecting it to know any novelty. A month for go through and the suspension now, President Mahama as suspended on Fanomrano. Is it grounded in law or is it not grounded in law? And I remember a constitutional provision which is Article 146. 10A. Whenever a premier facia is established, not a president or set up a committee to investigate the ongoing proceedings. Now, at that point, the president has a discretion to exercise, and that discretion is that either say over consulted the Council of State, no sign a warrant to suspend the Chief Justice to sit aside while investigation goes on, and answer and at this point, people are seeking to create impressions say, Mama ya pamono, obiam pamono. And because investigation crowd were doing and I say yeah be a war a bit make say oh yeah proceed on leave say yeah you bet me anya investigation we are unless you don't have trust in the process ongoing the process may go against you but that is a normal practice that is done everywhere. So I don't see where all this noise is coming from. And the very person who started this whole thing is the Chief Justice herself. She has been fighting this here and there, and very often I'll call court and you're about to go. And I got into a point that I see says she's doing what you call this judicial shopping or court shopping, because you see, issues not they call court,
Oh yeah. Judicial shopping.
Yeah, shopping for that kind of because as I'm not they call high Supreme Court and you're about to go. What's on the second one? And then a portions of that particular way was sent to High Court, and the High Court catch it and said no, I say because issues now what they call Supreme Court and the same issues and we cannot allow the court process to be abused. And that particular way no about to go one thing I say. Or they call ECOWAS. ECOWAS ever tonight. So it means that she is using all the appropriate courtesies available. Obedience in her quite way. So I think that it's quite childish. So Obi or no external body what's in the baby will give such an instruction to you can advise, you can express your opinion, but to give a command, say the president should bring the woman back. And the question is, have you read the constitutional provision that give the president say when the Koswa he has that particular power to exercise, and now say you don't respect the constitution, and now say you think that malice or something is going on. You understand? So I think that some of these things, some of these people sit elsewhere and they think that they can manipulate her because about resources and they don't come anywhere close to us. We have everything that it takes. Even when it comes to human resources, the youthful population of Ghana, Europe, they don't even have it. If you go to Germany, they are aging. That is why they are importing a lot of young people to go. In America, it's the same thing. But Africa, we are so dumb to the stand that we don't recognize the creative ingenuity of young people. Resources na yenya fra man for mefa na monfa nko na saa ne ba ntino they still see us as slaves yenim nyansa yenim de so people can sit anywhere and manipulate us because yeti hay understand your resources na ye won ye put it to good use na young person at Akroma ha or ye okay because we have all the resources. They can live their dream, and people will not be rushing to UK and other places to see greener pasture as well. Because what resources? A resource-rich country like Africa, like Ghana, why do we have to rush all the way to go and be slaves in other people's land? Go to UAE, young ladies in their 20s, in their 30s, or airport, or more travel all the way to your friends in Arab countries. Or treatment or family. Now, I spoke to a lady. I say Kaka Krebin can Madam Warni Frabro science man about form. And according to her, many of them die. Nobody even know they have heard about. You understand? So I think that these are some of the realities that we need to wake up to. Resources now more we want. Yes, I'm putting it to good use. Now, I listen to a lot of conversation. I'm for Trump at times or by USAID we see, Trump is a reality. It's a wake-up call for we the Africans. Because it's not all the time that some of these foreign powers will be giving you freebies and you sit here. Over Ghana, all the expensive SUVs, as I see, America, even the senators cannot buy. We are using them here. My dad will be from US by now. I say about Ghana cars over who even in America he doesn't see those cars. Expensive cars are your border watch the one and now the ketwa. But our people are languishing in poverty. Our people some cannot even find 2 square meal a day to build themselves. You understand? So I think that these things are reality. Where we are as a people. Now who say we must begin to get our priorities right. And yes, sir. Now, see, if we continue to live our life the way we are doing here, these people will sit somewhere and still see as some sort of some colonial trophy we are waking up. Any nonsense at all, no betting on you and expect say you follow same. And that is the reason why I am worried about this whole thing. Me, it is not about the wedding, it is not about testimony, but the thinking behind it. The M3 to say, I am commanding the president of another country to do ABC. And not just that, the whole kind of wedding, the tone, and as a form. Which is a Sabian because some now movies again, I must say, you're making sure that the timeline, this whole process must be communicated to the Chief Justice. What kind of Ghana Constitution now? There is no specification as to when the committee should do it well. The president even doesn't have the power to control them. Say, within 1 week, you give them all the freedom in the world just to ensure that the necessary investigations and everything that they have to do, will be verified. Evidence be presented must have evidential value. Everything standing the test of prosecution. I know the day say woman anytime issue the cocosa. You know say the process has been dealt with sufficiently. And all these things has given them that sufficient and ample time. So it is not up to understand nobody somewhere to tell us, you draw a frame now, you're making sure time is communicated. Again, I say the lawyers will be and I'm not sure the Chief Justice has gone to the room to say, or the lawyers can be a permanent. You see, I think that I'm for we feed the bigger picture here. Prior to the elections, we all saw how dirty our judiciary became in this country. But yes, subject of public mortification on various social media platforms. Unanimous this, unanimous that. You can just sit and predict the outcome of the judiciary and then the ruling as for. Judiciary ultimately ruling Bible and saying ordinary person can sit and say, I the ruling with the answer in him. Or catch them say, the birth certificate and enough to vindicate my nationality. Now, traveling document, which is a passport. You see, it's a common sense and you're common to everybody. So these are some of the things that man for your worried. And again, the judicial tampering and the packing of the court and as a form. So Ghanaians became so much concerned. Said, no, your judiciary, we needed to do something about it. I don't know, giving right to some of these things. And this is the fact that some people send a petition. Yes, it is true. And some now more can't our petition. I think that the Chief Justice must spend all her time responding to the in some rather than fighting the procedures, these trivialities around. Oh yes, Anna, you are painting a picture so you are guilty because you have no response to the issues that have been peddled against you. I'm speaking to the issue, explaining why I'm in Yantomona. In your friend, I didn't tell what about TV, so now one fan court. No one you say, you are preaching to the people, so you are guilty because you have no defense. But if I know, say, I didn't do that particular thing, I catch him with this car, I will explain to you why I'm in this car. I'll go to the committee and explain myself. And Charlotte Say and co, other people who were subjected to similar processes went through the same thing. This is not the first time a president has suspended you. The last time I catch Justice Derry, when Anas accused them, and a premier facie was established. They were suspended by President Akuffo pending investigation. Akuffo signed a warrant and dismissed all of them. And you're saying, a former Sraj boss went through the same process. So this is not a novelty unless the woman is telling us this whole thing is a novelty. And again, I was shocked when the Chief Justice made a request. He said, this whole thing, young family TV. So now maybe someone say, mommy, or a lawyer, because this person is supposed to be a lawyer, and she knows, that particular provision in our constitution, nobody can waive it, not even the court, not even the Supreme Court. And as I walk on the JSC ruling, I read that particular ruling throughout. He made it clear, sir. Sir, Adiana constitutional framework say, I'm heading in camera. No, it is not because I have privilege for whoever or seeking the court. For the people of this country, but there are certain things that won't mean for a agency. So they wanted to protect the sanctity of the court. And you're making it. You have enshrined in the Constitution. The Supreme Court ain't any power to waive. See, I say, we need to do a referendum, Ghana for on top, and another constitutional amendment. And such ruling, will be shown on camera. So for a whole Chief Justice to make a request to a court to say, TVs, and then you begin to wonder where that particular mind is coming from. You understand? So I think that this whole process here, also involving the Chief Justice, whole lot of weaknesses has come to bear. And for me, I am very disappointed. Going forward, now, I think that the people we select to the apex court of the land, we must be very careful and see say nipa na oyedo omokon really they deserve in recent times. And I think that the politics is becoming too much. I know a lot of people on your fence that the Supreme Court on the fence your judicial numa, because they've been given some partisan colorization. And acquire politics. So yes, if you don't talk to any line, so all the promotions and appointment that is coming, depending on how you stand across the political, that is what they do. So at the end of the day, the very people with the enough competence and that intellectual weight to be able to give us all the details that we need so far as interpretation of our laws are concerned, these people, then we promote some of these your friends and push over intellectuals to these higher positions. And at the end of the day, it will come at a cost for us. Because we are Ghana, now what we emotions free, now we politics free, now we see the argument of the Chief Justice on TV, you will be shocked. Say, it's the way and Chief Justice and answer about because it's so shocking and very sometimes I wonder because basic element like reasoning, common sense, and then as if you see it's missing. Maybe emotions can take a better part of people. And my culture says we say when you rise to a certain position, don't allow emotions to cloud your thinking because the very moment emotions take over your head, wisdom goes on vacation. And when you're careful, it will never come back. You thrive on emotion. You even embarrass yourself without even realizing. So I think that Ghana I like the response at various courtesses and they mark this whole thing. And on more kanya who say they goofed bad. The AG issued a statement explaining this whole thing. The AG was a bit charitable with his choice of words. I've seen a lot of big lawyers who are very angry about this because some of these things, bring it to mind. The colonial days, how you sit somewhere and somebody thinks that they can control you. I don't know whether truly this is a British Association of Lawyers or Commonwealth, but we don't care whether it is way cry. We don't care because in the UK, I think they have a lot on their table to deal with when it comes to some of these human rights abuses and then as for them. And your court in intervening and one can be shipping nipa agu do about Rwanda against their wishes and then as for them. You will just anima with her about the cow baby there. I think they should just shut up and give us a break.
Yeah.
Medical share telephone for
I've always advocated say onye doctor menkofa doctor onye lawyer menkofa lawyer onye professor that is even criminal. Then I say for
imposter.
Yes, become some sort of an intellectual imposter and amount for finding out it takes away credibility and a whole lot of stuff. But you see there is other side I think people are not looking at. In recent times, just G-Tech. There is a particular trend, because maybe people haven't noticed. Over the years, we've been talking about how our institutions must be very vibrant, robust, and must not be reactionary. Very often, we are about to say G-Tech statement about one team, it is coming at the back of a social media, some sort of a brandishment. Akoso. Because Mekai Rashid Tanko there, Mekai Wine there, several other, including this MP and their core parliament. So the question is, sitting at your office, nothing has happened in the space, what at all are you doing? It tells you, is it your how ineffective this whole institution is, because you only pick your letter and write when social media banter goes on between somebody and somebody. That is when you are prompted to know, say, hey, nipa tati ne kura enya correct. Exactly. Me say I can sit here and I've said this thing on this TV. Say many of the Ghanaians who travel out there and return home say, oh, me your doctor me chara there, about 80% are liars. They never schooled anywhere. People are walking around with fake certificates, and that is a fact. So we don't need to have a social media banter or parliamentary banter for GTech if it indeed it is an institution that is supposed to run this credibility, this thing to establish whether. I listened to one of the interviews with Bola, and I was shocked in someone no kekan and as a phone. But naba because nothing has been done about it. Behind the scenes, you can't tell us that behind the scenes, oh yeah, because according to you, nothing was even written to him. In the case of this whole woman. And you see, when it comes to professorship, doctoral way now, from state to state, you know, and your uniform say, for instance, in America, how to attain a professorship is different from in America, in Ghana. Ghana, the processes go through after our doctorate, you know, the number of your friend is saying, how do you call it? Papers then that particular thing is awarded though. We don't earn it all. It is awarded. That is why I have a friend at our University of Ghana. Now, associate professor. Then one of the universities in Ghana called her and told her, say, oh, they're going to be delayed and the prophet don't find man. They will I confirm. Oh, I'm telling you. Yeah. So
really,
yes, it is something that is that and even say first degree, second degree, it's awarded. We don't earn it.
Yeah.
So the university can call you today, and then if I hold a degree from University of Ghana, no China, or what some acquire BBA, a validity school, no new way, they can call me and withdraw it. We don't earn it. It is the school that award you that particular way. So circumstances and as for they award some of this edifa. So you cannot sit in Ghana without engaging with maybe any partner who are school. No, now GTech no answer letter now we should say letter when you don't when as we speak, you know, there are tons of people with fake certificates. They are not doctors, they are not lawyers. So as an institution, you know, robust mechanism then would put in place just to ensure so even certificate you are verifying. There are people with fake UCC certificate, people with fake University of Ghana certificate, people with fake Akuffo pencil. We saw a lot of people, taxi drivers coming to Ghana. They told you that they were teaching at the universities. In the end, they were all taxi drivers in America. They never taught anywhere in any of the universities. These are realities, you understand? So I think that we need to be very deliberate in our attempt just to ensure that we sweep all these people. I am not verifying or your friend saying I'm verifying whether it will be a professor, but I don't like the approach at GTech Alpha in this. They are just advertising sheer incompetence in the way a man or more and some traces of ignorance, because the mere fact is that our standard I the award of professorship no any different from obedience. I think the best thing you can do now America, there is no single institution that will pay information on farm. You can write to them, verify any of the universities, any information. So for you to write to say nipa professorship, no, then you also add it, because about public debate among for can you add say we have had contact with the institutions, and this is the report. You can even attach the email just to distill this whole public distance. Why somebody sit comfortably in the office? Oh, that's around a part, never social media, that's a letter. And today, Nippon or down, no, people are even challenging on also
qualification.
You see this whole thing. So, I quite a comedy movie been a year, and at the end of the day, the institution no credibility. Yet take me over the years, and I know can't be inside the GTech or more.
I didn't know
what I said. So, I think they should stop this nonsense and give us a break. So, I'm person I may say they should move from institution, minister to ministers, MPs to MPs. No one shall say verification. The number of your friends saying fake certificate on Akroma and Torkornoo cry and Akroma say. I am telling you, because there are people who go online, do certificate programs and other for those institutions are not credible. They don't even exist. There are, you see, and now I'm just smart amount for there is this Akuffo they award people a degree, that kind of honorary degree. They be almost the same amount for no Dubai, no way. A fake way. They look at individuals with your friends saying some kind of good standing in Ghana. No one who says you can pay for it. You spend about over $10,000 to travel all the way back to London Business School. Where we near Swanee at the Okwane Akuffo Akuffo, we have no more than Yamatu to come. We near Kawabonenya because that particular thing doesn't go anywhere. And a lot of Ghanaians go there for those things. You understand? So I think that GTech and institution, you know, must be very proactive. Not any where obino binyan tokwa social media no challenge ne title pe adechi ya na GTech the way aba. The question is, as an institution, you know, what is your core mandate? What are you doing? You understand? And these things, you know, are they up to the very institutional ineffectiveness that say there is the need as a country, say various institutions, you know, we need to build them and make sure that they become very effective, their resources, everything that they need, you know. And also, we must begin to put competent people at the various head of way. Sabaya Nipano will not be driven by emotions this kind of way. Because as an institution of a state, you know, why must you be responding to some of these things? I did not ban say banter no cause all of a sudden the wetting a letter about thing. Sometimes I am a crime and one say I know when I should be obiti baby and wash that Babe Comna or T radio so grant interviews on the troy. Panini as I didn't be any team or Moody Sans Mono. I think that you see, we've had enough of this nonsense. So I'm going to say, Omotum said they are indeed a very credible institution. Obonsha say no more duma. And then the panel mudiamba social media and they should begin to check all the various certificates and various offices. Now, I'm saying this because I know for a fact that there are a lot of people who come from outside with fake certificate. America, there are phony schools, they don't have any accreditation. And it's not just one go school. No. Sometimes you may go to the school, but the institution you went to a phony institution. They have no credibility, they have no establishment, they have no accreditation. And people are walking around with some of these things. Some do it online and as a forum. And also, no, you also provide avenue to educate people. Say, answer now, apply a course or baby, no, making sure that the school is credible. Our accreditation. So if we don't have your friend is saying the access to verify, come to us and answer there is this institution you can go and verify to see that the institution is credible. Unya sanema we nyina adechi anamu to social media and watch letter. Professor Yensu is not a professor. Where is not this? Now we are professor. I think this nonsense. You see, I think that we are. I wonder why maybe a nyina do as of my year kwa name no. You see, Saturday NDC MPP politics. We don't pander to those things. Oh. As young people, many are intellectuals. They want to see their institutions doing the right thing.
Sure.
Without pandering to any partisan or political influences. So, me as a young person, I have confidence that yes, when it comes to this institution, it is credible. They will work for us. If you could cry, you know that the institution is effective. But where individuals take some kind of a partisan kind of way, now more the institution you didn't say in recent time, look at what Electoral Commission was doing and so forth. We are now begin to ask yourself, say, democracy now yes, you build the regional institutions, you know. Yeah. The institutions are shaky. And now you can't trust the legislature, you can't trust parliament, you can't trust the executive, depending on who is in power and as for them. The other institutions now can't say so we are young person say the democracy is it sustainable? Is it not on a shaky grounds? I think some of this nonsense. Me, I've seen people reacting to GTech. Me, I think that is a nonsense of a way. We don't need to give them that particular room. If they shouldn't be waiting till some of these things come on social media. There are several ways you can verify. And then as a former man who say indeed, Nipano certificate, credible, and I say now where the idea about social media now requires some kind of a social media way. I think is.
Okay, abusuan we ne ensema ekoso our political highway so suspended Chief Justice Torkornoo NHS NDC journalist NDC bloggers omodi ababontin say maame no ya pam no a enye asem keto akra bedam ase se moje pene kokoti sa ensem we edema any update bi enso a efa suspended Chief Justice Torkornoo no ya de bebremo bedam ase.